Alright guys, what's going on? Today we are going to go over how to set up Trip version 4.7.1. First things first, come into the Discord and go to download and you'll have the latest updater in here. This stays the same week in and week out. You guys that are using Mac, you're definitely going to have to use it just because we don't have auto updater working for Mac at the moment. But that is something that will be coming in the next hopefully the next update. So I'm going to run this on my Windows server just so that you guys can see that proxies and everything are working, but this should follow suit for Mac as well. So we're going to open that up. I already have it installed here. So we're going to go ahead and open up Trip. And right when we open up the bot, we're going to want to come down to CAPTCHA and log into our CAPTCHA. So I already have one profile set up. You're going to click Add Gmail. We can name it whatever we want. So we can name it sudo. And then you're going to have the option for type. This is for checkout type. So you either have request, browser, or both. Request mode is a lot faster, but we are not 100% positive that it will work just because of Supreme and all the changes that are making with Pookie. Browser is obviously going to be our headed and headless tasks. Those are going to be more reliable because of the way that Pookie interacts with it. And you also kind of have some control over those tasks if they get a little bit locked up. So we highly recommend that you run mostly browser-based. They're going to be a bit slower. You're not going to be able to run as many, but they are reliable. So I'm going to do both just because I think it's best to run a few of both. I'd like to have at least a couple requests just in case, we do get lucky and that works out. So we'll click Save. I'm not going to log into it, but what you're going to do is you're going to click the Edit button. And if you have both selected, it's going to open up two windows. And you're going to have to log into both of these. We have things separated right now for request versus browser, so just make sure that you're logged into both. I'm already logged in, as you can see, on both of these windows, but so next we're going to come into, I'm going to go ahead and test proxies. If you guys are running on a server, this is extremely important, especially on a server that is banned by Supreme. This is on AWS right now, so it is 100% banned by Supreme. So I have some proxies in here that we're going to test. And we just want to make sure that those are giving us a good signal. So now we know that those are good. We're going to come into tasks, and let's go ahead and add some tasks. So I'm going to use a test profile just so you all can see. I'll make one request and one headed. So I think best thing to test for Supreme right now, we're going to do white. For keyword, we're going to set it to Haynes. And that's all we need. As you can see, we have a proxy selected, and then here's where our Gmail is selected. So right now I'm using the sudo shu one, but if you log into 10 different Gmail accounts, then go ahead and select one for each, or however you want to split that up so that you have those CAPTCHAs split up amongst all of those tasks. Obviously, we don't want to make 10 tasks with that same Gmail account because that Gmail account is going to get slammed with CAPTCHAs. So if you can kind of spread that out amongst multiple Gmail accounts, that's typically going to be the best way to do things. So we're going to create one task in request base. So click OK. And then we're also going to make a headed task as well, just so you guys can see how that works. So we'll create that one as well. So we now have two tasks. This top one is request, bottom is headless or headed. So we're going to run this one, launching task, waiting for CAPTCHA, and we actually got a one click there. So if it gets past that and it starts gathering telemetry, then we know we've gotten a one click and it successfully went through. So we got payment failed, which totally makes sense because we're using a test profile. Now let's run headed. So you'll see a window pop up, and this now works. This did not work previously with proxies because of how we were pushing those requests. So this will now find the product, get all the way to checkout. It's going to come down here. And again, we got a one click because we hit card is not valid. So one clicks are working really well now. We've really ironed out what the issue is there, and we're hoping that this follows through for the drop tomorrow. Obviously, once Supreme site is getting hammered, CAPTCHAs are going to become a bit harder because Google is recognizing that the site is being botted, so just be aware of that. If you don't get a ton of one clicks on drop day and you're getting a ton right now, that's why. So don't get upset, but also don't run your Gmail accounts like crazy tonight. It's never a good idea to run through all of your one-click CAPTCHAs because you only get so many within a certain period of time. So try not to run too many tests because you will run through those one clicks. So if we had a real profile working or set up in this right now, this would have checked out completely fine. So we can close it out and stop that. Oh, that one. Obviously, profiles, you all should be pretty used to this, but if we want to go in and add another profile, call it sudo, and then fill it out with all of your information. Supreme is very strict on one product per billing profile, so make sure that if you're going to run tasks and you want to get, say you want to get multiple Cat in the Hat teas tomorrow, make sure that you're using different profiles for each of those tasks, just so that you don't mess things up when it comes to checking out with the same profile. Supreme will cancel for that. Other than that, I like to set a Discord webhook just so that I can see if I do check out what the times were and kind of the success there. And I also use a zero delay for monitors, but this will slow things down if you don't have decent computing power. I run this on a pretty beefy server, so I'm not too worried about it. But for you guys that may not have, top specs on your computer or aren't running on a server, I would probably set that to 1 or 2 seconds, just so that you're not really killing anything. Other than that, this should apply the same to Mac users. I've been testing this on Mac and Windows tonight and have gotten the same exact results. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be in Discord for probably the next 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed. And yeah, hopefully we do pretty well in Supreme tomorrow. Good luck, guys.